I have a very loud voice, so if people in the back are now deaf, please raise your hands or don't hear me anymore, and I'll step back a bit. Thank you, Henrike. My job within the Rijksmuseum is that I work at the Rijksmuseum as the data manager, which is a sort of new function where I'm responsible for opening up our data, our information, to all different kinds of systems that can be internally used, like our digital asset management system or our document management systems, but it can also mean opening up our information to the world outside the Rijksmuseum. Today, the subject of this meeting is trust and crowdsourcing. And at the Rijksmuseum in 2011, we adopted a new strategy from the museum to the crowd outside and the outside world, and this is our E-strategy. And the main or the most important facet of our E-strategy is that we as a museum think that we create and have a lot of information that we want to share with the outside world, because we are a government-funded organization and we spend a lot of money on these kinds of research. And within our museum it has always been quite an internal process. So when Henrike shows what we did with Iconclass until 2011, we only did it within our own museum, within our own database, with these quite difficult annotations. So both physically and mentally, this information is difficult to access from the crowd, by the crowd, from the outside world. So we don't have any systems implemented yet where people can really crowdsource our data and work with our data and add own information, but we did something different. I still have to fight with this system, I'm afraid. Okay, where am I? I'm lost. Okay, I love digitization, that's why I work in it, so systems can fight me. In 2011 we implemented our own open data strategy as part of our E-strategy. The main focus of our organization is that we are by the Dutch, from the Dutch and for the Dutch. Although we do a lot of things in English, what we mean is that our information should be shared and should be given back to anyone interested in it. We implemented this policy by implementing an API on our collection. And an API, I'm not sure if everyone in this audience knows what an API is. Who doesn't know what it is? Raise your hand. Wow, lovely. So we opened up our collection through an API, and what we actually did was I'm going to return to this one later on. We tried to keep it as simple as possible. We converted all our metadata to XML, to doubling core XML, and on our website we put a registration form and asked people, if you want to do something with our data, please register. And then there's an automated process, and you get a key to our collection, and anyone can harvest our collection, or at least the metadata and a connection to our images. This is a fully automated process. We only want people to register because we want to know what people do with our collection. When we started it, we didn't even know if people were interested at all. So we hoped by asking people to register to get to learn more about the people that would want to use our system. We launched our API in November last year, and since then approximately 205 developers registered for an API key. And still fighting. Since then, 17, and yesterday I got a notification for app number 18. 18 apps have been built with our API. And I'm so happy to see one of the most important API builders in the back there. We opened up our data and we were clueless what people wanted or if they would like Agent Postumus works a lot with icon class, was actually one of the first people to come to me and said, I know you have icon class, could you put it in there? So I put it in our XML, and where we don't use it on our own website because our web developing team doesn't really know what to do with it because it's difficult code and we don't know if the audience will understand it. Someone else built an API, with our API, built our own collection, or rebuilt it based on icon class, and you can, I try to get to zoom in on it. I'm really sorry, I will promote this as much as I can. If you go there, you can, iconographically search our collection or click through our collection, and you can find the fish because you can look for animals and you can go through the hierarchy and see where the fish are. And you can do it, and that's the great part of icon class. You can do it both in French, you can do it in Italian, you can do it in German. Whereas our own website is only in Dutch, and we only have very simple explanations about our collection in English. But for us, this was the first time that someone else did something with our collection that was really of so much added value to what we do. So this really opened up our eyes to all the possibilities that we have by opening up our data and letting us be surprised by others. As I said, we now have not even 17 but 18 applications. I have a couple of screenshots of other applications here. For instance, this one, I also love this one. Someone used the face recognition software used in Facebook and put it on our paintings. So the software selected our paintings and then selected all the faces and started identifying it. And it's a very basic identification. It's either looking to the left or looking to the right. Is it a female or is it a male? But even in these 4 instances, you get such a beautiful new view on our collection. You can also see some differences between now and then, because the Facebook software thinks that most people with long hair are women, whereas 17th century men love their long curly hair. So a lot of men are being identified as women, so that there can be some improvement. But this is just one thing that we would never come up with, and you can now really identify all these different individuals in a lot of paintings. This is one that visually isn't very attractive, but it's very good functionality. It's an app built in 15 hours by some geek at a hack battle, and you can select small parts on pages and put notes there. And it's just great fun, because a lot of people, you know, as was told before, want to put small notes to parts of photos or paintings and not annotate the entire painting. So, and this was done in several hours at a hacking game, and it was so much fun to see these people, you know, just starting to do that. At the same hacking event, our collection was combined with Spotify music API for like 6 or 7 times, and we found out that our collection really goes well with Leonard Cohen for some strange reason. So, of course, most of the apps are tours of our collection, so it's you know, the image with a description, but people are nice enough to translate our descriptions to English, so I'm still hoping that we can use these texts or reuse them and put them back in our own collection and at least have a good translation of all the things that we do. The seated guy just left, I think. This one was built by someone from SEAL who combined our collection to other collections, other open collections. So now if you want to see what Vermeer painted, it's not much, but it's not all in our collection. So you can see all the Vermeers in the Netherlands wherever they are situated. For us, sharing this kind of information with the crowd, or in this case the technical crowd consisting of 200 people, it's a lot of fun, and it keeps on surprising us what other people know, what other people do with our collection. It also surprised us that our API was, without us doing anything, was harvested by a portal sites like Kennisnet. So 1.2 million school children in the Netherlands now can directly access our collection. And the stupid thing is, we would never think of it to offer them our collection. They came to us. But for us, it is such a big, big plus for our API, because this is what we should do as a museum, share our collection with all the children in the Netherlands. And we also got harvested by Europeana, by Arts, or by the Getty, and so on. So, my story to everyone is always that if you want to work with the crowd, ask them to help you, but also give it back to them and ask them what else they can do for you. And in our case, it has been one big celebration of our collection. So this is also the reason why we're so happy that in the SEALINC project we could reuse our API and get our niche source tool up and running. And we hope that the expert information that we will get from this app or from this new website will be added back to our own information and then reshared